Make a date with Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei at 6 a.m. from Monday to Saturday on Graphic Online via Facebook and YouTube as he expounds on matters of faith. Graphic Online, truth and accuracy every day.
This is Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwei of Living Streams International, bringing you matters of faith with Graphic Online. This morning, I am still in Genesis chapter 18, verse 19, when God said, I know Abraham, and he will command his children, and they will keep the way. So I'm still on Waykeepers, or Waykeepers part 3. And here's the interesting thing. He said, I know them. They are going to be circumspect, and they're going to walk circumspectly. Number 2, they're going to walk narrowly, that is, nothing is going to distract them. And then the last meaning of that word Shama is, the last word of that word Shama is, they would preserve. They would preserve the truths that have been given to them. So you know what? One thing, it is not enough for them to be circumspect, to be wise and prudent. It's not enough for them, to look narrowly. But then they will defend the truth they know. They will preserve the truth. That is, they will hold it close to their chest and pass it on to generations after them. I can tell you, a lot of parents, the principles that were given to them, they've thrown it away. And so there's a generation that don't have those same scruples and principles. And those generations are making a lot of mistakes. And parents are bowing their heads in shame because those principles are not the principle of hard work. There are some principles, it doesn't change. Listen, we are living in a changing world, but not everything changes. God doesn't change. And his principles don't change. Thou shalt not steal. It means thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. It means thou shalt not kill. So the principle that God taught, thou shalt not steal, a long time ago, it is still valid today. And it is still authentic. And it is still protective. And sometimes our children must be able to, unabashedly, stand up and say, hey, I don't care what everybody else is. These are the principles I was given. I will keep them. You know, many years ago, this is how my parents taught. You can't steal. You don't steal. Because if you steal, there are consequences. So, I remember one time we were kids, and one of my friends went for his father's money. We didn't know. And he went and bought football with it. He played a soccer ball, a ball with it. Went and bought it. And for us, we got a new ball to play with. We were very excited. But when we finished, he gave me the ball to take home. I thought it was a bit unusual, but he was saying, no, I want you to keep the ball. So I took the ball home. And then my father came back, and I went and hit the ball in my father's bedroom. A child too, very unwise. Not really. That was very smart. Then my father saw me coming to take the ball early in the morning. I said, wait, what is this? I said, it's a ball. Who's it for? I said, oh, it's for my friend. Why are you keeping your friend's ball in my house? So he asked me to keep it. And he said, because he doesn't want people to know. I didn't know anything. So I was just blurting out what I'd been told. He doesn't want anybody to know. My father picked the ball with me and said, let's go. Went to that friend's house. I was living close by. The father said to the father, do you know your son has bought a football? And then the man said, no. They called his son. Then he started stammering. He wasn't a stammerer. He started stammering. Then my father asked him, is anything missing in your house? Is any money missing? He said, yes. There's some money missing. Oh, boy. That day, oh, man, I knew what it means to walk into hell. Man, my back was so sore. And afterwards, the punishment they gave to us to stoop, raise one leg, we did everything from Kawasaki to, riding the motor to, man. And my father said, never receive anything which is not yours in your home. And also to another principle he taught us, if he puts money down here, 30 years later, if he has not touched the money, don't touch it. And these were the principles. So if we're living in a house and somebody else comes to live with us and the person is a thief, we would know. Because something they left there. And my parents used to leave monies intentionally at places which are very obvious. And sometimes at places which are in corners. If anybody takes, you think nobody will notice their eyes on it. And guess what? None of their children would ever take it. Now here's the thing. Today, I leave certain things there, and my kids will never take it. Because I have taught them, it is not yours. It is not yours. Pass on the principles you were raised up with. Principles of moral rectitude. Principles that shaped you. That has made you the mighty person you are. That has made you very ethical. Raise them up in those things. Preserve those principles. Don't throw them away because of the changing times and seasons. Don't throw them away. Give it to them. They need it badly in this world in which we live. The statutes and the commandments of God are sure. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure. It is purpose to make the wise simple. And we are supposed to preserve them. Hand over heritage to your children. Hand over, don't just leave an inheritance of money. Don't just leave a legacy of money. Don't just leave a legacy of wealth. Leave a legacy of principles. Leave a legacy that shows them that the end doesn't always justify the means. The end doesn't justify the means. Leave them with those principles. And sometimes it's very, very sad. Children will mirror what they see. Children will mirror what they see. So, they see their father steal and come home. They see their father putting his money in state coffers. That's what they'll mirror. Maybe you are smart, you are not caught, but they'll be caught. And then you eat the bread of shame. Abraham's children were not only taught to be circumspect, to be watchful, they were also not taught to be just narrow down, but they were also taught to preserve the principles to pass on to other generations. This is what made God boast. This is what brought the boast. Well, the choices are always yours. See you later.